Hello, my beautiful crafty friends. It's Laurette, the Vintage Paper Girl. Welcome to my studio. It's weekend crafting with the Vintage Paper Girl. Come craft with me. I've got lots to show you today. Okay, we have a new project, and it's one I hope you will like. So how is everybody? Are you good? I hope so. Hope everybody's well and enjoying some beautiful weather. Hopefully you're crafting along with me, getting some crafting done, having some fun. And if you aren't, I hope that you will consider doing so. Take some time off this weekend just for you and come and craft. Okay, so we're going to make a fun booklet. Well, it's actually going to be a journal. It can be tied, or you can use rings or whatever you want. So, but anyway, you're going to need some envelopes. You're going to need some kind of paper to cover with them, and you're going to need some blank paper for the back sides, possibly. So we'll talk about that. All right, here we go. So if everyone's good, let's rock and roll. Okay, let me double check. We are filming. Okay, we're all good. I just want to make sure. I was having some trouble with my camera, so fingers crossed it doesn't turn off on me. Let me make sure it's not in slow motion. No, it seems to be okay. I don't know. This thing's been acting up lately. I think I just do too many videos and it's complaining. It wants a vacation. So anyway, let's get busy. I thought I cleaned my desk, but apparently not very well. Okay, so we're going to make a fun project. So grab yourself some envelopes. Junk mail envelopes are fine. What you want to make sure is that they are all the exact same size. Don't care how big or little you want to. You can use whatever you want, but you need at least a 6-inch or 7-inch, 8-inch envelope here. I don't know if the little ones, let's see, I have little junk mail ones, which I could have used, I guess. It might have been easier than these big ones. I don't know. Let me see. I think I didn't use these. No, I didn't want any of this here because I didn't want that to show anywhere. Seems like it's on all of them. So you could use a smaller envelope. Let's see. What's the smallest one I have? It's an 8-inch and this one's a 9-inch. So you need it to be at least 6 inches long. All right. We're going to do 6 inches here. So grab some envelopes. You want 5 to 7. Depends on how many pages you would like to do. I'm just going to do 5. And you need a paper. These are all just single-sided papers that I've run off. And it's a beautiful new kit by Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah. And let me see, I want to make sure I got all the ones that I wanted. It seems like I'm missing a few that I wanted to use. Let me look. Yeah, I didn't. Okay, well, that's fine. So we're going to cut these envelopes. First thing you want to do is seal them all in the back, which I did do already. I didn't think you needed to sit and watch me do that. Oh, before we get going, just so I don't get lost and forget to do this, some of the new things in the shop. Remember I told you I didn't have any samples? Oh, yes, I do. Look at this. This is gorgeous. This is some of the new lace. It is so beautiful, you guys. Look at that. Isn't it just delicate? Oh, it's yummy. Jolene did a good job finding this one. And then look at this. Look at this. These are edge laces. And you know those ones I just did. Wait, let me find one. Show you. I haven't got it on there yet, but I'm going to be using it. Where did they go? Why can't I find them? Ah, here we go. Oh. Hello, Avalanche, Craft-A-Lanche, Craft Supply. Okay, this one here, this would be stunning on here. Look at that. Look how beautiful that would be. Or this one, these are in the shop. Go get them while you can. Oh, look at that. Aren't they gorgeous on there? Just beautiful. So anyway, we have both of these in the shop. I'm going to be using them on my project. Okay, so those are two of the new things in the shop. Then, where'd they go? Oh, you get 4 of each color. I think she said there was 10 colors. Look at these. These are, and you get, I think she said 4 of each color. And they are note cards. Aren't these yummy? Look at these. All colors. These are all different colors. These are not the same color. These are not the same color. There's a different shade there, right? So anyway, oops, there's a cream in there too. Look at that. Are they not yummy? You can cover one side or write on the other. You can do so many things. You can make a little journal out of them. You could do all kinds of fun things. This would be fun in a little, or on a ring. These would be fun on a ring. I may have to do something like that. So these are in the shop. And they go with our file folders, our, oh, what else do they go with, you guys? Do you remember? Oh, I'm wondering, I'm looking at my, hold on one sec, see if I can find them all. No, I can't. Bookmarks, they go with our bookmarks. They go with our file folders. They go with some of our library cards. I mean, whatever you can get your hands on, it goes with it. They're all these yummy vintage colors. That's what I like about them. They are vintage colors, and they're not brights. And I think the brightest thing maybe is this one. And even that's not super bright, you know what I mean? So there you have them. Aren't they gorgeous? So they are in the shop now for this huge set that you get. Go and check. And if you're new and you're saying, what shop, what shop? I will let you know, because we just reopened after being on vacation. Design, Journal, and Supply. There will be a direct link from my video. Go to my video, go to the drop-down box, and you'll be able to get your hands on some, okay? And the laces as well. So I want to do that before we got going, because I know I'm going to get into this project, get excited, and forget. Now, I'm very excited about this project, but then I was showing my daughter, and she kind of went, eh. So I don't know. Maybe it's not exciting. It's just exciting to me. Well, it looks fun. Simple. You know, not too difficult. Now, what I want to do is I want to cut this at about... Oh, this is going to be a problem. That's 2. That doesn't have my measurements. I don't want to use Big Bertha. Let's use Biddy here. Maybe we should call this one Tim, because it says Tim Holtz on it. I want it to be about 6 to maybe 6 1/4 inches long. Let me see. I don't want it to be really long, because we want it to kind of be journal size. And most journals are 5 1/2 to 6 inches long. So let's go, I'm going to go a little above. Let's go to there. So what I did, now it's going to depend on your, yeah, I cut off about 3 inches. So it was about 9 inches long. So I'm going to say a little over 3 inches. Let's see what this measures on actual, not on here, because this only goes to 6 inches. So anything over that, it doesn't tell me what it is. Oh, it's 6 1/2 is what I cut it at. So what you want to do is you want to cut all of, now, okay, let me back up. If you're using a window envelope, make sure your window is in the same place on each one. Don't mix in some that have windows over here or some that have double or triple windows. Make sure they're all exactly not only the same size, but their windows in the same place. It matters when you cover it, trust me, okay? And make sure you close them all up before you cut them. All right, so we're going to make this at 6 1/2. I kind of have nowhere 6 1/2 is on my board. And then, you know, you got these little pockets. If you want to keep them, you don't have to. You can throw them away, or you can use them. They do make nice little pockets, and we could use them in here actually if we want to have pockets. So start cutting your, you gotta make sure they're all the same. Now, we could make these with flaps, or we can make them without. I'm not going to put any flaps on mine. What it is I went looking for inspiration. I looked on Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube. I went everywhere looking for inspiration. And yes, there are a lot of these types of thing out there, but I haven't, this is a combination of everything I saw. So I'm doing my own thing. I'm not doing what someone else did. Okay, so I decided let's do our own thing here. And we have all these lovely little pockets. Too bad these stamps are not real. They're just like printed on the envelope. I think they go get the envelopes, run through the postal machine, and then, you know, they have them. Okay, so now these are your pockets right here, okay? And what we want to do is we want to cover these super easy. We're just going to cover, and I have to decide where do I want to, I probably should leave this out because I'm going to be cutting this up pretty good. I only need this to be 6 1/2 inches long. I don't need a super long one. So I'm actually going to cut off this end right here. I'm going to have a lot of scraps when I'm done. And let's see. I'm going to cut this at that 6 1/2 inch mark because I really don't need to see the envelope. That's white. I'm not interested in that showing if I don't have to. Yeah, I lost a little bit of that rose, but I got more of it than I thought. But when I put it on here, I am going to lose some of it. Now I have to decide how much do I want to see. What is the width of this? I forgot to measure. Let's see. This is 4 and like 3/8. So cut it to how it's going to work for you. Hopefully this is right. I really wanted that little rose, but I didn't get it. That's okay. So there is going to be, I'm a little over, but I can trim it. Okay, so there's one. And you have to decide on your cover. Now, I don't know which one's going to be my cover just yet, because you have a cover, then you have inside, then you're going to go from there, right? So, gosh, this is going to be like the same roses on everything. I don't think I want that. Let me try this one. Okay, I can either have 2 roses. Let's cut it off. Right there. There are going to be some really beautiful pieces to play with for sure. And plus we can use them to decorate with, right? So now the question is, where am I going to cut it off to get it the width I want it? And I can hold this other one up and actually use it to cut. So we'll do that, because you're going to kind of have to fussy cut these. Well, if you're using this kind of paper, if you're using a plain print, then you don't have to worry about it. This is a brand new vintage desk set number 4 from Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah. I have 1, 2, and 3, which I use all of the time. And this is number 4. So let me get this. That's crooked for some reason. Let's try it from this end. Okay, so this is another page. I can decide what's going to be my front when I'm all done, right? Oh gosh, these are all the same. I did not want that. Okay, so I've got a little problem here because I wasn't paying attention. Yes, they're different, but they're not going to be different enough from each other. This one's really cool. Maybe I'll make sure we do, oh dear. That's only going to give me one or the other. Either I'm going to cut her in half or I'm going to cut the building out. All right. So we need 5 of these. So cut 5 to your envelope size when you're done. And then what I might do is try to figure out where I want it to go. Okay, so I'm going to cut it off here. I'm going to keep that building for another video. Another thing. So you can use your other one as your guide if you want. There's 3. Let's see what else I have here. I like this one. 4. Let's see. I know another one that I want, so I'm going to go grab it from my thing in a minute. So I kind of like this side, so let's see if we can get this side. Oh, just beautiful papers. Aren't they gorgeous? I love them. And I'm just cutting them to fit. So cut to suit, right? This is the part of the project, so it's just something we need to do, right? I'm just going to cut it across the top there, and then I'll figure out the bottom in a minute. Oh my gosh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love these papers. There's other colors in here. I just picked out this size. There's some really pretty mint in here that I noticed. All right. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the other ones I picked, I'm not liking as well, but there are tons in this kit. So let me see if I can find some more that I would like to maybe use. Give me 2 seconds to... This is the kit. It's beautiful. This was another one that I liked. I would love to have maybe some... I did double print certain colors or certain pages. That's a pretty one. Maybe that one. Or I have this one. I have one with a ton of buildings. I kind of wanted this gal on one. I was looking to see if there's one I could maybe do with her on it. She might make a good cover. Actually, I was thinking maybe she'd make a good cover. So let's see if we can use her for the cover. I kind of have these all in here a certain way, but I'm going to have to let go of that because I just can't have all this paper on my desk. It's like crazy. All right, let's... Oh. I haven't cut off the white. Hold on 1 minute. I've got to go to Bertha for that. I apologize. This will be an hour plus video, I think, maybe. I don't know. Okay. 1 second. Right in the middle of the 1 rows. Oh well, it is what it is, right? There's nothing I could do about it. Yeah, I ended up cutting that rose in half, but that's okay because I was trying to pre-cut a little bit just to get us ahead. We've already got that rose in there, so it's fine, right? Okay, let's cut. Let me get this on here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this up just a tiny bit more at the top because I don't really need all that white space. There we go. That way when I trim over here. Now I am kind of making this up as I go. I think I know what I want to do, you know, but again, this was one of those in your sleep, here's how you could do it. Here's how you would do it. You know, sometimes when you look at a project, you go, oh, I would have did this or that. I cut that just a little bit too short, darn it. Well, that's okay. We can put lace and we can and we will if we need to, or we trim the envelope a little bit. Hopefully I've got all the envelopes the same height. I didn't even look. Yeah, they're pretty close. I think there's one that's, yeah, it seems like some of them are a little bit shorter. Like this one looks a tiny bit shorter, so maybe we could make that yep, that fits on there. All right. Now, what I'm going to recommend if you're going to ink, if you're not an inker, then you just make sure you cut it exactly to fit. Or if you're using an envelope that has some color to it, maybe, you know, you don't have to worry about it so much. Oh my gosh, I'm in love with these. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, and this is the tedious part, which I know some of you dislike, but oh well, it is what it is. Well, not dislike. Many of you are not into inking. That's okay, but I'm gonna need to do it because of the project I'm doing here. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna ink the page. I'm going to ink the envelope because it is going to go a little, you're going to see a little bit of the white. And if you don't mind the white and it doesn't bother you, but because I work in vintage, white and vintage don't go hand in hand. This way, if it goes over a little bit, isn't quite exact, you get a nice vintage look to it. I want it to look very vintage, okay? And so this one, I'll go as quick as I can. Now you're going to want to do the front and probably the back, but I'm just going to do the front for now. Hopefully I'm going to cut the packs exactly the same. Now the back I'm just going to use, now you have an option. You can use another pattern on the back, or you can use plain paper or lined paper, because the writing part of your journal is going to be the back side of your journal and the back side of your envelope. So that is going to be your writing edge or your writing side. You don't have to if you just want to make it as a fun pocket journal where everything that's in the pockets you write on and you don't actually write on the pages. Totally, completely up to you. I think first I was going to do like a mild, like, I don't know, polka dots or a light lace or something like that. But then I thought, well, maybe it'd be fun to have it to write on, because that's a different way to have a journal. It's a small, not even a journal, it's more like a notebook, I guess, because, well, it's a journal because there's stuff that you would write on the inside. You'll have writing pages, and you can add as many as you want to it. Pages, I mean. This is a business envelope, so I'm not really worried about you seeing like the writing of where it is or the return address, because it's not in our town. So I figured, I don't care if you see the address or not. They don't care. They're a business. They want people to come there. Okay, so there we are. Now, these are ready, and you've got them all on the same side. And there we are. Okay, now we're just going to cover them all. I think one of these was a little shorter. That's why I was trying to decide, okay, which one was our shorty. Seemed like there was one that was just a little bit smaller than the others. Where'd it go? Did I already put it with the, there it is, I did. Okay. Now I'm gonna need to use a glue board. Now, let's talk about glues. You can use a glue stick, a white PVA, which is a white glue, or you could use Fabri-Tac or whatever. Now, the one thing I've noticed when you do a lot of gluing with a glue, white glues are wet glues. They have a lot of water in them, and they very much will wrinkle your paper. Sometimes it unwrinkles itself, sometimes it doesn't. It stays all wrinkly and bumpy and doesn't look all that great. You can use something like art glitter glue. You can use Fabri-Tac. You could use a glue stick, but you want to make sure your glue stick is not full of water. A lot of the glue sticks will cause a ripple. Now, I am not sure if this is going to cause a ripple. So what I'll do is I'll just take one sheet and we'll put one on with it just to see. Let me find my, there we go. Is that the one I want? No, that's the one I want. Okay. This has got some pencil on it, which is not good because it will rub off onto my project, and I don't want pencil marks on my projects. You know, lead, that lead look. I'm not cleaning it just because, I'm cleaning it because it has pencil on it, and that graphite can end up on your project, and you're not a happy camper when you're done, let me tell you. Let's try the glue stick first and see what we think. If it's too lumpy bumpy, then from then on we'll use something like Fabri-Tac, Fabri-Fix, or 3-in-1. Any of those will work, okay? Make sure you get plenty on, especially across your window, because it is a slippery area. We're covering it up. We are not leaving those to show. And I'm going to use one of these. The nice thing about glue stick or Fabri-Fix, Fabri-Tac, or 3-in-1 is you have time to move it around. So I don't think I'll use that today. At least not. I'll use it for the corners. Okay. So now we have the back side showing, and we're probably going to do some trimming. but we'll do that after. Let's do kind of fast make style. Excuse me, the hiccups. Lunch is grumping at me. It doesn't seem like this is rippling. Now, some of the glue sticks, Elmer's glue sticks ripple. If your glue stick has a lot of water in it, it's going to ripple. This one generally does not ripple on me. So, I think I'm gonna just use my glue stick for this. I'm happy to do that. That Fabri-Tech's expensive. Oh boy. Especially right now. Everything's getting outrageous. So, gosh, have you guys been to the store lately? My daughter just went to Costco. Those of you who live in California know what a Costco is. She said the prices went up, especially on meats. She said from like 20, what'd she say? From like 18 to 27 or something like that. It was crazy. She said it was just nuts for like 5 pieces of meat. And she's like, oh my gosh, I don't know how we're going to do this, Mom. I'm like, yeah, I know, honey. She goes, it's always been the best place for me to get bulk, fill up the freezer. She goes, but now I don't know if I can afford this anymore. And I'm like, yeah, I get it, sweetie. California is outrageously expensive for everything anyway, but you add this. I don't know any good reason for them to hike our prices on anything. There really isn't a good reason. There's no good reason. They're just doing it because they can. They're not tariff companies, but they're just raising our prices like crazy. So, sorry, I shouldn't complain. I don't want this to become a complaint site. So let's just ignore that. I didn't say that. But I am noticing the prices on everything as far as our crafting supplies are going up as well. And although I will say my paper, my printer paper, went down. I was shocked. I'm not sure why, although it is made in the U.S., so there really is good reason to have lower prices. And if they keep the U.S. products down in price, then we can all buy them, right? And that will help our country. Will help our crafting. I've been checking the things lately just to see where things are coming from, and yeah, I get a lot of products I use are made here in the U.S. I'm really excited about that. I didn't realize how much I buy that is U.S. only, so that's great. It's help us with our... Where's my scissors? Where are my pink scissors? Oh, I put them in the wrong place. Well, that could be why. I was going to do this later, but I turned this over and I went, oh my gosh, that is either on there super crooked or I really did a bad job cutting it. Okay. This is going to be such a pretty journal, you guys. So I love collaged papers. I really do. And this is pretty sticky. Oh, that's going to need to go to the sink tonight. Yuck. I didn't realize that was a dirty one. I thought I had all clean ones, but maybe not. I got another clean mat. Here we go. It was already full of glue, so I guess I must have got worse. When you start getting sticky on it and it's already sticky, it just reactivates the sticky. How many times can you say sticky, right? How's your weather? Ours is warm, just like it should be. Not hot yet. I hope it doesn't get hot. I hope we stay in the high 70s, low. No, not much over 80. I do really well with that. If we get too hot, then the migraines kick in from the heat. So I've gotten those under control. And I want to keep them that way, right? I've worked really hard to get rid of those migraines that I was having every single day for 5 months. So I do not, under any circumstances, want them back. I do recommend burnishing them down because it also helps get rid of the bubbles and it helps keep it from being too rippled. But if you did one and it rippled, don't do any more. Grab a different glue because you won't be happy with this project. Because there really isn't, unless you're going to iron it, which most of us are not going to iron our projects. I know some people who iron everything they do. I'm just not one of them. They iron their papers all the time, and I'm not one to do that. So many years of ironing for sewing, you know. I do have to re-ink that because I did cut off my edge, didn't I? We also want to make sure we do not close up our envelope here. We need that to stay open. And I'll be going through to check the corners when these are all glued on. Gosh, I've got that stuff running all over my desk. Okay. I'm just checking to make sure I'm not working on a super glue surface here. Trying to get the corners, but it's so hard because it eats the glue stick. If you get it, you know, you get on those corners and you pull back, it'll like leave a big old glob, and it will eat your glue stick. I was all set to do this with Fabri-Tac, but I was thinking about it, and lately I've done a lot of gluing, and I have not noticed my glue stick to be causing an issue for me. So, hold on, I got to get that glob off there. No globs of glue, thank you. So we want to cover all these edges. This one's a little, not quite, it's a little bit small, so that's fine. I don't mind. I've got it all inked and ready to go. Isn't she pretty? She's a pretty girl. Okay, a pretty lady. There we are. Now, I don't think I need to do any trimming on her. What I do need to do on all of mine is check the corners. Like, okay, so there's a corner that did not glue down. Now we pull back and we use our art glitter glue to make sure we get all of our corners down. Okay, looks like that one's good. How are we over here? I see something up. Yep, I figured this one didn't go. I did not get the edge, and I kind of knew that. So check all your corners. Make sure you get everything all glued down. That one looks good. Okay. They may come up when they dry. Sometimes they don't adhere. There becomes a resist for some reason. I don't know why. Especially on junk mail that's been through the mail sorter. You don't know what's on the wheels of the mail sorter, and it can leave some stuff on your envelopes that make them resistant to, I noticed, glue. Crazy enough. Question is now, do we want to round any corners? Now, before I go worrying about gluing everything down, I do want to round this corner. Oh, do I want to wait? Let me think. I'll just do some inking while I do that. Or any place that I missed last time. Let me think about it. I'm thinking. Think. As Pooh Bear would say. Think. With his paw to his head. Thinking out loud. Because I'm wondering if I'm going to cover the back. Maybe I should just go ahead, cover the back, then do my corners, right? That would make more sense, huh? Okay, so we've got our fronts are done. We're going to decorate these, of course, but we've got the fronts done. If I'm going to make that the cover, I don't know yet. Is that going to be my cover? Maybe. Possibly. Okay, so you've got your 5 pages. And now what do we want to do? Now we want to figure out, what do we want on the back side? Now we can use pink on the back. Or we could use this pretty, this is avocado dyed paper, I believe. Oh, or is this the Kool-Aid? This might be the Kool-Aid paper. This is Kool-Aid paper. I don't know where I got it. I cannot find any kind of a, I don't know who I bought it from. Or we could use the normal, I think, maybe I'll do like 2 of the this one. These are from Vintage Polka Dot Shop. And I'm going to take, she does this coffee dyed paper. So I'm going to use 2 of those and 3 in the pink. How's that? So we'll kind of have a sherbet thing going there. What do we think? I think that's a good idea. Okay. So here we go. We've got to cut these now. Let's do the same dimensions we used for cutting out our front picture. Oh, too bad we only get 1, right? Well, maybe if I did it the other way, that would have worked. I could have not wasted so much paper. I should have done it that way. What was I thinking? So let's go, yep. Oh, wait. We'll use this one. Why cut that one up? Oh, I cut that so bad, you guys. That is terrible. Gotta hold down when you do that. Okay, so I don't know that it's going to go on this one. I just want to make sure I get it cut right. I cut that a little low, but that's okay. Now, this one, I'm going to go the width this way, so we're not losing so much paper, I think. I'm hoping. No, let's cut it the width. What did I say this width is? This width is really odd. I think it's 4 3/8. Yeah, that's 4 3/8. Let's do it 4 3/8 and cut it that way. I should be able to get 2 out of this, right? Let's try it. Then and I always use these papers. I mean, I never have any of these left over. They're always getting used up. Oh, this one's already cut. I forgot. Now I can hold this one up to this one and cut it. It doesn't really matter which side, yeah. Oh, I'm getting lucky on this one, aren't I? Okay, so we now have, I want one more pink one though. Unless I just make it the 2 and do all 3, because I think this one's the right size already. Yeah. Okay, I guess we won't do 3 pink. I was thinking 3 pink, but I don't think I need all that, do I? And I only have a couple pieces of scrap left, so that's awesome. I'm trying to figure out what I want for my cover. I think I really, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, there should be another one. Right, where's our other one? Oh, there it is. 5. Okay, that would make a great cover, I think. Either that one or that one. I think that one. Maybe. Okay, now the thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off any papers that have gone over the edge that don't need to be there. I'm going to trim up any, which means when I'm all done, I'll have to re-ink every single bit, but that's okay. Okay, that one's trimmed. That one is not trimmed. I don't want to cut it open by mistake on the wrong end, because that would not be good. That one's good. That one's good. And that one's good. Okay, so I just had a couple that needed a little bit of trimming. And I'll know when I go to glue on the next set. Okay, out with the board again. Well, there's another. That's a really clean board. I don't really want to have 3 boards going. Let's just get the 2 going. Let's try to save one for another day. So what are you guys doing this weekend? I have no idea what we're doing. I'm hoping we're going to relax and sit outside in the sun and just chill. I never get to go outside. Now I need to figure out, okay, so if this is my cover, which is going to be my cover, this one? I was thinking about putting an image there, making that the cover, or making that the cover. I think I'll do this as the cover. that will be my second page. This will be my third, this will be my fourth, this will be my fifth. So we'll go, I want to put, oh, this is good. All right. Now, I want to do this here. Get this a little bit inked because I think that's going to be best for what I'm doing here. Okay. It doesn't really matter because there's no pattern to this, so it's okay. Eek. Someone's doing some work. I wonder what they're doing. My hubby was going to look when he went out, but I think he forgot to look. You can hear a drill or saw or something. Or someone's munching up some trees, making them into mulch. This is that time of year when we trim our trees and do all of our good stuff. Okay, now this was that extra piece, so it's a little bit big, and I will have to trim this because it's not quite. But it was close enough that I wasn't going to turn away. Okay, I'm going to need, did I put it away? Did I put it back? I hate that. I mean, I clean up and it's good, but I hate when I do that because then I'm... Now, what you have is your writing side and then your pretty side. So, what do we think of that? I like that. Okay, so there's page 1 is done. Here's page 2. And I'm going to put it on the back of this one. Anybody doing anything exciting though? Or are they like going to the park or staying home and sewing, crafting, knitting, crocheting, working in your garden? What's happening? Anything good? Hopefully you're doing something fun. I'd love to work in my yard, but I don't think I have the energy for it, so I probably won't. But I could watch hubby do it while I sit in a chair. I need to wipe down all that patio furniture. It's all dusty. We haven't been using it, so it's just collecting dust out there. I need to wipe that down, wipe my swing down, so I can go out and have a really big 3-person yard swing. It's not like a swing like a kid swing. It's a, you know, it has the canopy over the top, that kind of swing. And it seats 3 people. I haven't been out. I didn't go out there at all last year. I mean, I think I did in the very, very beginning of the year, but then when my husband got sick, I just quit going outside. And so it took him 4 months to get well last year. This year it's been me. It's taken me 5. So, okay, I've got a big clob of glue, which I do not want on there. And I'm going to have to let that dry just a tiny bit. Then I'll use my glue eraser to get that off. If you do it when it's too wet, then you lose your... I have to let that dry. Okay, let's let that dry. Where's my card? There's my card. 1, 2. Let me make sure there isn't a big glob like right in front of me, and that's why I keep dumping it in there. I don't know why I keep dumping it in there. Boy, these envelopes, the corners, and then this one was opened badly, so I'm hoping it's still going to open when all is said and done. Yeah, I did not get that on there well. Oh, my hubby doing something. I don't know what he's doing. I hate it when he does stuff and I'm doing a video. It drives me crazy. Because it catches you and it disturbs your thought process. Oh, I cut that badly because I put that on there pretty straight and it's kind of a mess there. I don't know what I did. Okay, well. Now this paper, because it has already been dyed and stuff, it is wrinkling because it's been dyed and all that good stuff. I'll have to check the paper after. Let's see what glued and what didn't glue, right? And using the side of a bone folder is really good for making sure it doesn't ripple. So when you're turning your pages, you will have the blank side to work on. And you can stamp on that side if you want a little something on there because you don't want it to be quite so plain. That's not a very wet one. It's almost dried out, in fact, so it should be okay to use on here. It's mainly a lot of gluing, guys. I'm sorry, it's kind of boring, but in a minute it will be less boring. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's just boring altogether. What's on this one? I would really like the pink on this one, but I was trying to go every other one. So to do that, plus I could flip them out. What's this? I'm thinking this needs to be, well, it's going to be this one. Trying to line this up as best I can. Lately, I'm just crooked. There's a tiny bit of pink that you can see, but it's not really enough to be a big problem. I probably should wait to do this because it just dawned on me I'm going to be clipping some corners. Not all the corners, but a couple of corners. Oops. Oh, I completely missed the glue on that corner for sure. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back. Oh, yeah. I'm doing a terrible job on this. This paper's already bubbly, which is what's making it difficult. And there is some resist because this one's vegetable dyed. Or Kool-Aid. I think this was the Kool-Aid paper. This is Kool-Aid paper. I remember when I bought it, it was a special, and I bought all, like 2 or 3 packs at the time because I loved it so much. But then I can't figure out where I got it from. And I bought it like 3 years ago. So to go back through 3 years of Etsy purchases, don't think so. Because if I wanted it now, Kool-Aid dyed paper, pink, I would just put that into the Etsy search engine and it would give me something, right? So I guess I could do that. And then here's our final page. And hopefully you all haven't left already going, oh wow, how boring. I guess you could fast forward. I just love this idea because it makes a journal, but it's not a great big piece of paper or a big envelope. It doesn't require a lot of folding. It's just a nice, simple project that you could do like on a Saturday afternoon or Friday night or, Sunday after you've gone to church, and Saturday after you did all your chores and you want a little something to do for yourself. This is a great one. And I mean, you can make it, you could put 20 of these envelopes in here if you had 20 of them, of the exact same one. That's the kicker. Because you want them to all feel the same and look the same, right? I'm going to move this. I've got to trim this paper because it's too long. It's just a smidge too long, right? Okay. I think, now the nice thing I love about this particular glue, when it dries, it creates a real nice firmness to your, this is the Scotch Create, or Scotch Permanent Glue it's called. It used to be called Scotch Create. They changed the name because it was too sticky and people complained, and I don't know, I loved it. I thought it was the perfect glue for what we do, but other crafts and maybe people with kids hated it. Just literally, they did not like it. The reviews were terrible. But those of us who do this kind of work, we're like, no, we need it to be sticky. We want it to stay on there. And not only that, it worked great on fabric. This one does too, though. I don't think they changed it that much. I just think they took some, brought down the sticky, however the heck you do that, right? All right, I think before I do any more gluing, let's do this. Because then I'm doing double work, which I tend to do anyway. I decide after, oh, I want to change it. This one on one end, the open end, not the closed end. If you like your corners rounded, this is where you're going to do it. You're going to leave this in straight because it's going to be the spine of our journal. So now what we want to do, if you don't like this white, you could go ahead and line it, but I am not one to do that too much. It's all right with me that it's white in there as long as I don't feel like I'm seeing it when I'm going to put journal cards and things in here, ephemera, you know what I mean? So I don't really feel like I need to. Now this is very, very wet, this envelope, because it's got front and back glue on it, right? I think we're good on this. So and then this end that's rounded, you know, is going to be your opening. Now, if you wanted, you could take a piece out, but then you're going to want to line that. So I don't know that I will. I don't think it needs a thumb notch. I think it's fine the way it is. But with 2 layers on your envelope, you have got a very sturdy page here. It's almost like doing the card stock journals that we do. I just want to make sure I didn't just glue my envelope shut trying to get that. What did I just do here? Did I just glue my... Yeah, I have noticed coffee dyed paper. Someone told me why. It's the acidity. Keeps it from sticking. Creates a resist. And so you've got to go back with your glue when you're gluing on your coffee dyed papers. So this one, I know this end right here is not going to get rounded, so I'm going to go ahead and check the corners on the end. They seem okay. Here is where they're getting rounded, so let's okay, this is very vintage looking, I will tell you, because of the type of paper as well as the inking I'm doing. And then, oops, the papers I'm using in the back. So let me make sure everything's glued on. Seems like it is. Oh, maybe. Thought I felt something right here. I think it's just where it opens. I don't think it's the paper. There we go. Okay, so that one's done. This one's next. This is our open end, so I'm going to go ahead and the air conditioner's on. I don't want to dry out my glue bottle. Okay, now the one thing I do need to see is I see all kinds of, I did a bad job gluing this, or the glue is drying out really quick because of the air conditioner. Before I can even get it on, or if I pull it back up, it may just not be staying. Okay, let's get everybody glued on where they belong. Corners are such a problem when you're using a glue stick. For sure, right? Oh my goodness. I don't care how hard you try, you end up digging up your beautiful glue. Oh, I was worried about this. I had to fix the envelope and it sealed the envelope shut. Oh, come on. There, I got it open. My wet wipe is drying out with the air conditioner on. I have to get some water and dampen it. All right, that one's all glued, I'm hoping. We'll check as we go because what you think is glued now, 5 minutes from now might not be. Okay, so that's rounded, that's rounded, that's rounded, that's rounded. Oh, okay, this is the last one. Let's get this, where's our end? There's our end. I'm actually going to trim this up just a little bit. It's bothering me. Is that crooked? No, I think it's okay. Okay, now I have to re-ink that because I did just cut it all off. Okay, I might have to check our time in a little bit just to kind of see where we're at. Not because I'm in a rush, but I do need to finish at some point today. I can't do this all day long, although it is very late in the day. But honestly, I've already filmed a couple of videos today. My daughter and granddaughter came by, the youngest of her two, with her. They had gone to Costco and were dropping off some stuff they picked up for us at the store. And she's still not feeling good, though. Her bronchitis is not going away. I'm trying to get her to go to the doctor next week if she's not feeling better. Okay, I think I got everything. I don't know. I'm hoping I did. There's a lot of glue in the cap. It's not good because then it dries out and okay. All right, so we've got pockets in every one of these. Oh, I'm going to check to make sure they're all open because you just saw one of them glued down. When I closed the flap on the envelope, it glued itself shut. I'm going to have to just making sure. Plus then that gives me a chance to do a little inking on the inside so it doesn't look so white if you happen to see the inside. Yeah, it's just on that one. Okay, I think I am done with the bone folder right now. Okay, so there's your backs. Got a little Neapolitan ice cream going there. Okay. Not fully, but sort of. Boy, I'm really inky here. Alrighty. Now the rest is just decorating, creating tags for the inside of your pockets, whatever you want to do. What I recommend if you're using something like this that that you cut off, these would make fabulous tags for inside here. So that is a thought, is to use some of these for tags in here. Wouldn't they be lovely? Yeah, we mount them on some cardstock and we can use bits and pieces to decorate it, and it's going to be a fun, whoops. Oh, I forgot to, oopsie, I forgot one. I got so excited. I was thinking I was all done. I love this project. It's fun and it's easy. It's quick. And you could use the smaller envelopes if you want. If you don't want to have to cut anything down, of course, just open the end and you're good. So it's totally up to you as to how big you want it. But I thought this was a good size. This is a standard width of a journal. It's just not the standard height. So this ends up being 6.5 by 4 inches, 4 by 6, basically 4 by 6.5. So it's really a lovely way to make a nice little journal. Now the cool part is, which we would need to make a little bit of a template. Let me grab some junk cardboard. Sorry, I just knocked my glue boards all over the floor. Well, can I do that again? No, let's not do that again. Sorry, I caught my foot on it. Almost took a fall there. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. I just grabbed some junk cardboard here. Okay, so now what we want to do with this is we want to cut a template of this, which the width is right there. There's our width. Here's our length, which is that 6.5, which I know is right there. Let me make sure that it's the right. Yep, it is. I will even round the corners so I know which end I want to put my holes in. So this is going to be our template. And we're going to call this the envelope pocket journal book. Okay, and we're going to say it's 4 and I think it was 3/8 by 6.5. So we know what our dimensions are. So if I want to make one of these again, I am not searching through. Did I do a good job of cutting that? I did. Okay, just want to make sure. We're not, when we're searching through our templates, I really need to get a new folder. I've got a pile of templates building up on my desk. Now I want to decide where I want to put the holes on these. So if this is 4, it's going to go like that. There's our center. Yeah. Maybe an inch in on each side, or 3/4 of an inch. What if we do 3? Well, I want them to be in quite a ways because I don't want it to do 3/4 of an inch. Let me see. Yeah, 3/4 of an inch is not bad. So, nope, that's the wrong one. That is not going to do anything. Yeah, Laurette, let's see you do something with that. So we want to go in pencil. I know I have one somewhere. They're getting awful short because I use pencil. I love pencils. I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather use a pencil than a pen any day. I love to write with pencil. I love to play with it. Just love pencils, especially color pencils. Okay, so let's go right on the edge. Let's go at 3/4. And 3/4. Okay, now I'm going to use the big hole. How far in do I want to go? I don't want to go in that much, so I'm going to... I don't want it on the very edge either, because if we do that on the very edge, it'll rip out. Let me see. Yeah. I think what I want to do is I do want to make this line longer. Just going to be easier on me if I do. So let's just go. You'll see what I'm doing in just a split second here. Okay. So that's going to be 3/4 in, 3/4 in. Okay, so what I want to do is go up that 3/4. I don't want it to be on the very end. I want to leave a little space. Let me see if I can find the right amount in. Yeah, that looks like it. And I'm going to put my hole right in the middle of that line. There we are. So that is where we're going to put our rings or our, I think I'm going to do ribbon. Okay, I'm going to do a ribbon tie, which I think would be awesome. If we do that, we may, so that we won't have to because we're not going to glue it or anything. I think we're going to be okay. I don't know if we need to do any scoring or not. I don't think so. I think that's pretty awesome the way that is. And now, I don't know why I put that away. Hello. Now I'm going to take my template and I'm going to lay it edge to edge. Make sure it's centered of what my project is. And did it move out on me? Seems like it did because it's not fitting up there like it should. Must have moved a line when I put it down. Oh, because that's the wrong one. Yeah, duh. 1 and 2. So there's the first one. Here's the second one. I love templates because then it just makes my life easier. I'm not guessing. You say, oh, well, you could hold it up. The other one, yes, but then your holes end up getting bigger. They start moving around. Believe it or not, you end up with this unbalanced journal. I've done it before, so you don't want to do that. And it's had time to dry, which is good because it was pretty wet, you know, with glue on both sides. I'm making sure it's not 100% dry. The other thing I would recommend, if it wants to slide, which this does want to slide on me, I'm going to just pop a clip on there. That's going to make life easier. I do not have to worry about it moving around, especially since, you know, I'm not always that steady. Oop. I love this punch. It'll go through anything. You figure it's going through a whole bunch of layers right now, and it just bites those layers like it chomps it. That's why they call it a crocodile. Or crocodile, meaning like a crocodile, because it just chomps through everything. All right. It's so fun. I love this project. It's so easy. Let's see. In how much time do we make the base? In 1 hour and 7. Not bad, because I'm taking my time. Now, it's up to you if you want to decorate it or you don't. You could just leave it like that, really, and fill up your pockets. I am going to decorate some, definitely. And I think what I'm going to do is, Tina, on this particular kit, did not create any, she usually does ephemera. She didn't create ephemera for this, which I wish she had, but she didn't. So I think what I'm going to do, there we go, into the garbage. And I'm going to use eyelets. If you don't have eyelets, you do not have to. If you do not have eyelets, one of the things you can use, as soon as I find mine, I know they're here. Ah, here they are. Is I have, and you can of course use the ones that you get at the Avery, at the what do you call them? Here, I'll show you. You can use this kind of thing that you get at the office supply store, and they have them in white. And they have the white ones. Those are from Target. And I usually just make my own colors, but I was able to get some pre-colored on. This is from the supply store, and then the office supply, and then these came from Target. So real easy to get a hold of. It depends on the colors you want to use, but you could just use these on your eyelets. I mean, on your holes, so that you don't have to go get an eyelet or whatever. I do have some that are in color, so you don't have to use an eyelet. You can just use a hole reinforcer is the word I was trying to say. I'm sorry. Goodness gracious, I couldn't get that out of my mouth to save my life. So if I wanted, I can just put that around there and then tie my ribbon through, right? So, or I can use eyelets or both, which I think I'm going to do. Oops, that is not the one I meant to put there. This is the one I meant to put there. That one right there. Okay, so those are real pretty. And you can just use those, and then like on the back, because I'm using a plain, let me show you. This one, I can just go like this. I can still use an eyelet if I want to. But this keeps it from ripping out if you tie your ribbon too tight or whatever you're going to do, right? So, oh, why did I open another sheet? I already had one going. Well, I don't know what dingbat your friend is. I'll tell you what. Oh, I'll do that later. It's too much work. Too much work. Way too much work. And it stuck to the package, so let's just do that and put those away like that. All right. So now pink ones, I do have some that I hand colored using my ink and a dauber. Hold on a minute. See, I've got some pink. Although that is not a good pink. Do I have another pink? Yeah, that's a better one. Maybe a little darker. I think I'll use those. Oh, I see something even darker. Oh, they're too dark. Yeah. So I've colored a whole bunch using one of these, dauber and ink. So, you know, use whatever you want, or just use them plain white. I don't care. I mean, whatever you think is good for you. These are kind of big for these holes, but it will keep it from ripping out and ruining your project, which none of us like that. We do not like it when one of our projects is damaged badly because it got ripped. Just trying to decide what do I want on there. Maybe this one. I've started it, so now I have to keep going, right? I can't just change my mind. I did one page, so I got to do them all, right? Oh, so those are done. I can do this side and this side. So you can decorate with lace or ruffles or butterflies or ladies, whatever your, you know, favorite thing is. You can definitely, kind of like this one. Got all these other roses on here, so maybe we should, oh, I don't like that one on there. Change my mind. Change my mind. Why don't I do, no, I don't like any of those colors on there. So guess what? This one's going to be a plain one. They don't all have to be the same because we are doing different pages, right? Nice thing about these, if you wanted to put like lace and some dimensional things on these, because they're tied or ring bound, you can do that. You're not limited by how it's bound, which is really nice, I think. You know, you're not bound into that. So because it's not bound by tying it in. So it's either by ribbon or, in a minute, I'll tie them together just to show you, and then I'll go back and decorate later. Did I do the front? No. Why did I not do the front? Do I have one I want to do on the front? Yes, I like this. I think this one's okay. Oh, I scrunched it up. I munched it. Okay, and that's done front and back. And this one is, oh yeah, that's going to definitely be the brown on both of those. This one here. You could make it darker, you know, if you say, well, that's just too, you could put some ink on it. It's up to you. It's fine with me. That's not, you know, exact. Although this is the cover, so I may want to do that. I don't know. If I was going to add eyelets to this, I would probably add a darker eyelet, like an antique eyelet. All right. I think we finished with that mess. So now I've created myself a good amount of work to put everything away, haven't I? Okay. So, I've got stuff everywhere, don't I? So you can see I used a combination on everything. If I missed any, I'm sure I'll find it when I start looking at the pages. So there we go. All right. I think I've got them all. So this is my front. And we've got that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. Okay, so there we have it. I can't decide on this whether I like that one or that one for the front. I guess it's going to depend on how I decorate it, right? So, and I don't really know. There are, hold on 1 minute. Let me grab the sheets. I've already printed some on the heavier paper. Let me put these in here. These are all my scraps from this. I don't want to lose them. So they're in there. Oh, I didn't end up using these. I was going to put these on the back here, but they weren't quite wide enough. I printed them just for that. Darn it. Oh, I'll use them for something else. You know how it is, right? I was thinking I wanted to put something on the cover, maybe from one of these, but see, I've already got that on there. I've already got her on there. I may want a different lady from a different kit, but I did do these so I could cut them out. There isn't ephemera, but if you couldn't cut any of these pieces, seriously, I think there was a castle on one of these. I'll have to go through and see if I can find it. I mean, that's really cute. So the point would be to find a picture that I haven't already used. Like, this is really pretty. I definitely don't have this on any of the pages, but I don't want to cut those because I have that other one to cut. Oh, let's see. See, here's more back here. I only showed you half the kit. I mean, the other half is this. So that's pretty. Oh, see, we have her. We have those. I'm looking to see if I've got anything different. Here's that one. I thought I saw a castle on a page. Maybe I'm just imagining it. I don't think so, though. I thought there was a page of just buildings. Maybe I did imagine it. Maybe it's another kit. Probably. Oh my gosh, how can I be hungry? I already had lunch. Guess I'm due for my snack. I'm looking for... Oh, there's that neat one there. Yeah, see, there's that. Oh, there's one there. But I'm going to go through and see what else I have. I'm sure there's something I want to use in all of this. So this is that set, and it's very cool. We have this lady. She's very small, but I don't really, she's not my favorite. Well, I'll come up with something. I'm not sure what I want to come up with just yet, but I will come up with something. So we'll get it done. I do love that. I don't know if I want to put that on the cover because there's already flowers right there. So this is a very rosy looking, this one. Definitely very roses. Very, very rosy. Okay. I'm getting tired, guys. So I think we're about done for today. I've had a good time with this. It has been very fun. Okay. Do I have that one already? Yeah, I've already got it ready to go. I mean, I absolutely will cut all this ephemera out and see what would look good, if any of it would look good on here, you know, like right here. I was thinking her, but I've already got her on a page, so I don't think that would work. So anyway, we'll have to see. So I think that part we're done with. I'm going to put those aside for right now. I have a lot of ephemera from Tina from all of her kits. I'm going to go see if I have some other images I want to use. I know you all have your own images because you're not going to have everything I have, right? So for sure. But let's put, what color ribbon do we want to put through this? Like something deep rosy color maybe? Or do we want a neutral? I want to put something that I think is going to look good. I want a deeper color than that maybe. Oh, is that too... No, I almost like this. This is called rose petal. I would say rose petal is probably the perfect thing, or we're going to use something very neutral like this. I don't want to use neutral. I use neutral all the time. I need to branch out, don't you think? Oh, wait. I was kind of thinking maybe something like this. Nope, that's too. Looking through my reds and burgundies to see if there was anything in those deeper colors. No, I don't think that those would be what I want. Let's use rose petal. Okay. So how I'm going to do this is you can tie it any way you want. Really, you can. But I think what I'm going to do, I might have to spit on this a little bit, or I may never get it through the holes. No, it worked. And then we're going to go from the back on both sides. We're going to go through the back. I did something like this before, but it was not using envelopes. I remember I made some kind of a thing with it. I tied it, but it wasn't with using envelopes, covering envelopes. I don't think. Gosh, unless my memory's going crazy. So there you have it. Now, if you're worried about, leaving it too loose and you don't like the way it is, we could go ahead and score so that we can open each of the pages easily. And I may go back and score it when I finish this off camera, because I'm not going to do it today. I think we're already way in. I mean, we're way in. Let me see how far we went today. Hold on a minute. I've got lace heading for the floor, and it's going to be a lot if it hits the floor. Let me see where we're at. Well, we're at an hour 22. I think that's long enough for today, but definitely we could put some pretty lace here, or we could put it across the bottom. We can add images. We could add bows and butterflies, and then this is your writing surface, and you could just stamp a little something on there. And then the fun part, of course, would be filling it up with journal cards. So next time I come back, I'll show you the finished project. Hopefully I'll get it all done, and it won't take too long. But this is a very fun pocket journal because you have writing space there if you want to do it there, or you have this wonderful place to stick in your journal cards. And it's only, you can make it stack very heavy if you want and just have a really big, fat, tall journal with lots of pages. You could use rings if you want it to be a little looser. Then do your rings, and you put your rings through here, and you're ready to go. You could also add eyelets to each of these, whatever you'd like to do. So I want to thank you for coming along and crafting with me on our weekend crafting. And I hope that you guys will get to have some fun and do something cool for the weekend, and maybe get some crafting done too. Or maybe you're doing something fun you really enjoy. So have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all very soon. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.